A bunch of gamers, one channel, and tons of games. This must be Games and Me. We are the Pixel and Polygon Protection Group, Episode 5 for May 19th, 2009. Our light always stays green. Hey guys, we are the Pixel and Polygon Protection Group. This is Episode 5. Oh my god, 5 episodes, Magus. Can you imagine? We've been doing this for 5 straight weeks now.
That's insane, 5 episodes.
I know, tell me about it.
Well, you know what's going to be crazy? Like in July, when we hit like episode 20, I'll be like, oh my god.
It's like, wow, we've been doing this for how long again? Oh dear lord. So, alright, well, so how have you been, dude? Like, it's been a week.
It's been cool. It's just normal stuff, just been chilling and good stuff like that.
Well, I guess we need to start it off really quickly then, with, of course, what you've been playing. So, Magus, what you've been playing, man?
What have I been playing? Well, the usual. But I made a fatal error, though. I played Persona 4 and got into it.
Oh, no! You got into Persona 4. Uh-oh. That is a very dangerous game to get into, sir. Because...
That's what happened with 3.
Oh, that's what happened with 3. So it finally, got its grimy hands on you, huh?
It's a different game from 3 in quite a bit of ways, but it's still very much the same. It's to me, it's a prime example how a sequel should be. It has the essence of the original, then not the original, but its predecessor. Because Persona 3 isn't the original, but it improves a lot of it. But the story, I don't know. The story in Persona 3 felt a little bit more epic because it started out, more big. But Persona 4's, it's more contained, I guess, because it's more of a murder mystery.
They refined some of the elements that kind of were popularized in Part 3. And I think that, a little bit of streamlining here and there, that really, is like the hallmark of why Persona 4 is highly regarded as like one of the best RPGs of last year, if not the best RPG.
Yeah, last year they had some competition though, with Fallout and things like that. But as far as this game goes, it's interesting because, like I said, Persona 3 felt, from the offset, it felt more apocalyptic.
Yeah.
And while this game has a more dark, it still has a dark psychological feel. It just feels more contained because, in Persona 3, the city was a big city in Persona 3. In Persona 4, you're in a small town, and it's a small town that is getting all this media attention, and there's these mysteries going on. And I'm pretty well far in the game. I'm rescuing this idol named Rise or something.
Uh-huh.
And the characters are already pretty complex, especially this Kanji character.
Yeah. Kanji.
Yeah, good old Kanji. But aside from that, the only other new thing I really played too was Hawks, Tom Clancy's Hawks, and I didn't play. I crashed in it.
You crashed in it.
I crashed a lot. My brother brought it over. He has the game because, well, I'll be honest. I like Tom Clancy games. I aside from I talk a lot about JRPGs and shit, but I like Tom Clancy games, especially Ghost Recon. They're my favorite of the Tom Clancy and the Splinter Cells. But aside from that, I played Hawks, and it's cool, but the controls are really steep.
Oh, so it has a pretty steep learning curve then? That's what you mean?
Yeah, because my brother, he played and he don't have Xbox Live. He don't have internet, and he played on my Xbox Live account. He played on it, and what was interesting was he did a practice mission. He thought he was all good, and then he got his ass handed to him.
Oh my god!
And people were doing shit like calling drones to repair their planes and sending out smoke, flares and all kinds of stuff. But it's from what I played of it, it was fun. It's just I think I need to spend more time. I can't even give a first impressions of it properly. I don't think, But it graphically it looks really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like the cities look really photorealistic and everything. So. That's
That
pretty
was
cool.
like the sales pitch for that game, though, right? Like the fact that it's photorealistic and all that stuff.
Kind of, yeah. It looks. I mean, you go above cities, and it looks like those pictures on Google Earth when you're like kind of zoomed in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really cool. The graphics are really nice on that game, but it is a tough game to learn though. But then again, I don't play very many airplane games. I'm not saying I hate the genre, but I don't play much. So, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Well, I would much rather say what I bought recently, but and then I guess I'll segue into like what I've been playing. So yesterday I was in a PS2 buying binge. So I got Indigo Prophecy, The Bouncer, Star Ocean Till the End of Time, Chaos Legion, Shinobi, Downhill Domination, Final Fantasy X2, Sonic Heroes, and Front Mission 4.
Wow, those are some awesome games.
Yeah, but it didn't stop yesterday. It continued today.
Oh no.
And this is what I got today. Rayman 2 Revolution, NBA Street Volume 2, NBA Ballers, Medal of Honor Frontline, Gun, and R Tonaleco 2. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm probably butchering it. So
What's
there you go.
our Tono Loco 2?
Ted summarized it in a very simple way. It's an RPG where you basically go into females' brains or something along those lines. But again, this is Ted talking, so you know how crazy he is in Angry Rivet Gaming, so I'm just going to leave it at that. So,
Okay.
yeah, really weird. But so as far as what I've been playing, I have been playing the hell out of Broken Sword for the DS, and I have to say that this game, from what I've played from it so far, is far superior than the PlayStation original. I don't, have you played like Broken Sword actually, Magus?
No, I haven't. To be honest,
Yeah, it's basically a point and click adventure.
I've heard of it. I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Because Broken Sword is basically the story of like how these several important people were beginning to get murdered, like by a costume serial killer. And in the original PlayStation game, you started off as George Stobart, who was basically like an American tourist in Paris who somehow had a glimpse of the killer, who at the time was dressed in a clown costume. So okay, that's cool. And then you suddenly meet this person named Nicole, who basically, like, apparently is a reporter who's keeping track of the whereabouts of where this mysterious killer clown or costumed freak like actually showed up in. So that's good. The problem with Broken Sword was the fact that they just kind of shove you in there, and they just kind of expect you to kind of know your way around. That's basically the original game on the PlayStation. Now, I thought that was very, very overwhelming because you're in a completely different world than what you're used to, and they kind of expect you to do certain things. Now, why is the DS version far superior? For one, you can play as Nicole in certain sections of the game, which is very, very cool. So you do not start the game as George Stobart. You start off as Nicole in a completely new setting. And I was like completely amazed at the part because it made the game flow so much better than the original PlayStation game. And mind you, this is just basically them porting it to the DS. They could have just ported the PlayStation version for all I care. But the fact that they actually took an extra effort to streamline the storytelling and the actual gameplay, like, just made me appreciate the game just whole much more.
I've heard of it. I was looking I was listening to you too, but I was looking at pictures in it. I remember hearing about those games a long time ago, and I remember. I don't know if it was because I was younger. I just didn't have an interest in point and click. I have since played plenty of point and clicks though, like Phantasmagoria and stuff like that from Sierra.
Yeah.
But I never played this, and it sounds pretty cool from what you told me.
Yep.
Sounds like they really did they did a really good job on an enhanced port of this game.
Yeah. And that's really like why I think this is the most superior version, because I mean, not only did they do that, but for noobs, total adventure noobs, they have a similar system. It's not too similar from Professor Layton. Professor Layton had like a 3-pronged like um hint system. Like it's like, okay, well, it'll give you a vague clue, and I'll give you a much better clue, and then like basically giving you the answer at the end. So, but you don't use any sort of currency, so you can literally like power through the game if you just cheated and used the use the hints and stuff like that. But what's the fun in that?
You know what? It sounds like the DS is doing what like the Wii did to light gun games. It may, it could spark interest in point and clicks again. What do you think before we go on?
I think